My first wife, the mother of Garrett, who was serving in the Navy, was pitching on a co-rec softball team in Orlando, Florida, and she took a line drive off of her face and put her in intensive care and basically broke every bone in her face, and it was touch and go there for a while. And I got a frantic phone call that night from my daughter, who lives just a couple of blocks from her down by Orlando. She didn't know how to get a hold of Garrett, who at the time was in Japan, the Red Cross number, and called and told him what had happened, gave them some information, where he was stationed, his information so that they could get a hold of him, and doctor information so they could find out exactly what was going on from the doctor. And they made some phone calls, and within 6 hours, from what I found out later, that Garrett was brought out of his platoon by his commander and brought him up to date almost immediately from what the doctors had discovered. He chose that there really wasn't anything to do. He was able to stay in touch with the family to keep up to date on what was going on with his mom. Well, about 6 weeks later, she had to have surgery and wasn't quite sure whether she was going to be able to see when she came out of surgery. And he was, at this time, he was on the USS George Washington. He emailed me, and quite a frantic feel from the email. He asked if I could make some phone calls again and try to get him home. Well, that next morning I did. I called the Red Cross. I got a hold of another lady, gave her the same information that I had given before, and this time within 4 hours of that phone call, my son Garrett was on a helicopter being flown off the USS George Washington to an airport in Japan, and was flown nonstop to Orlando. So within 16 hours of me contacting the Red Cross, he was at his mother's side before surgery. Being a father and with your son halfway across the world, having a phone number and the Red Cross that was available when you don't know what to do or how to do it or anything in a situation like that was, words can't describe the invaluable service that the Red Cross provided in not only getting information to my son, but getting him home. The Red Cross is just, it was just like they crawled into our family and was one of us. It was like an overwhelming calmness and the caring that is involved from the Red Cross for them to follow up and to make sure that everything was okay.